Do you condemn the actions and lying about these details?
Thank you very much.
Mamdani was asked about DSA co-chair Gustavo Gordillo's alleged fake working class story and wealthy family background here. And when pressed to condemn the lying, he wouldn't answer this question directly. He pulled the Mamdani.
Hey, Matt, how's it going?
Good. So should co-chair Gustavo Gordillo step down after lying to the New York Times, lying about his job to get a full-time gig with DSA, and failing to support union workers?
You know, the D in DSA stands for Democratic, and I leave it to the organization in its own voting of who it is electing as its leaders. And I think what we've seen with Gustavo and what we've seen to any others who are in the fight for a fairer, more affordable New York is that their focus is on making this a city that everyone can belong to, and I welcome anyone who's committed to that.
Do you condemn the actions and lying about these details?
Thank you very much.
Notice what Mamdani just did here. He never answered the question at all. Right? I mean, like, do you condemn the lying? That's a pretty easy question here. It has nothing to do with anything else other than the fact that he lied here. And if you guys do not know, Gustavo Gordillo is an excessively wealthy cosplayer. Let's call him this here. All right. And he has said he was an electrician, working class, a union electrician, right, et cetera, et cetera. But he knew the people that he could dupe basically the easiest here, based on whatever community he may or may not be coming from. He knew exactly the ones that would follow him immediately. So what he did was he insidiously cosplayed as a working class American. This is not a brand new story specifically coming from the DSA, along with a good amount of their cohorts here. A good amount of them are wealthy. A good amount of them are excessively privileged, even by their terms here.
Are you in favor of abolishing Article 1 of the Constitution?
No. We support a democratic route to transformative change in the United States. We think that we need to put the working class before the billionaire class.
So you don't want to abolish the Senate? The United States Senate, because that's what Article 1 is.
The United States Senate is an undemocratic institution. It gives more representation to people in smaller states than to the 30 million people in California.
So you've got the House of Representatives.
Guys, let's go ahead and read this really quickly. So basically, their overall goal here is to eliminate the U.S. Senate, defund the Department of War, establish a wealth tax, eliminate cash bail. Oh, guys, okay. Amnesty for immigrants here. Congress chooses the executive and judiciary, and to end all deportations. Guys, what is this about here? All right, like none of this is absolutely like counterproductive, specifically to those who actually work really hard for their money. They have reached a point of success in their life where they actually have a sizable, let's say, savings or brokerage, etc., and they're looking to absolutely one day retire here. You don't want to point that out here for some reason, but okay. Eliminate the idea of cash bail. Bro, a good amount of people that could be committing crime, think about if they have bail money. Guys, if you've ever seen any of these like police videos here, the arrest videos, you start to realize that some people will legitimately say within some of these videos here that they didn't do more because they didn't have bail money. All right. So what do you mean by eliminating cash bail? Keep it, bro. Raise it higher. Let's be honest here. All right. Ending all deportations is also not a very intelligent thing here, but what do you expect from these group of people here? Amnesty for immigrants. Immigrants are immigrants generally, right? I mean, there are some people who absolutely hate the idea of immigration. I understand those people. Then there are some people who just basically hate the illegality kind of regarding it. And that's probably me here. I have no problem with people immigrating into the country because generally people who have saved up all their money for the most part to start the process of like immigrating into the United States of America, they are actually planning on, in fact, assimilating here. So great job, guys. No issue here. The illegal ones, on the other hand, are just here for the sole purpose of economic migrancy. No, thank you. We need to deport these individuals here. But let's continue, guys.
Which is population driven. And then you've got the Senate. So every state, if you're a small state, you still get 2 senators, even though you only get maybe 1 congressman, in order to make all of the states have fair representation. So you say, I'm just confused.
When you ask normal Americans if Congress and the Senate and our political system is working for them, most people are very unhappy with the political system and they say it's not working for them. When we think about the 250th anniversary of the United States and we think about our proudest moments in US history, I think of times like when ordinary people rose up and they changed the Constitution to abolish slavery, to give women the right to vote.
Everyone's proud of that.
And
that's a nationwide pride in the country.
But back in those moments, those were considered radical movements because those people dared to say we need transformative change in the United States.
Right.
And I
well,
think
we
that
struggle
we see,
to become a more perfect union. But I just want to ask you again, do you want to abolish the United States Senate? Because you said you approve of Article 1, but then you said you didn't think the Senate works.
We think that the Senate should be reformed, that we should have a more democratic government system. But that's a long-term change that we're seeking.
Meaning more controlled by them exclusively. Understand how these individuals are.
And in the short term, we're focused on issues like affordability, like freezing the rent, which we've just done in New York, like creating a universal childcare system, which we're also taking steps toward doing, like fixing our energy grid. In 2023 here in New York, we passed the Build Public Renewables Act, which would create publicly owned renewable energy to have a more reliable, cheaper, cleaner energy grid. These are our immediate term demands where we do have a long-term horizon where we do want to democratize our government. But in the short term, we're focused on affordability. We're focused on a working class economic agenda.
The question is, how does the government become more democratized if the government takes over more of the power? So, for example, here in New York, if you have government-owned grocery stores, right? And that was what Mamdani promised. I know you were supportive of his election, and I interviewed him here. So they're up like breaking ground on one grocery store so far. It's going to cost $30 million to build a grocery store. In what world does it make sense to build a $30 million grocery store
and give everything away for free?
Competitive pressure on the bodegas that are in the neighborhood.
I think that what we saw in the mayoral campaign is the mayor was able to build a movement that inspired people to believe that we could have a government that works for ordinary people, that is actually responsive to the working class.
Inspiration is great, but if you're the bodega owner, how would you feel? If the government opened a big grocery store right next to your bodega,
if one publicly owned grocery store that brings prices down in the neighborhood is enough to put someone out of business, then maybe they shouldn't have been in that business in the first place.
Oh God, guys. Okay. I think I can't. I tried. Bro, listen, I tried. Thank you for sending me this here, but just understand I tried. I can't do this anymore. All right, listen, be fully aware here. If they're planning on doing such a thing here, now bodegas basically are like mom and pop shops that exist like all over New York and Long Island. I grew up on Long Island, so I grew up going to bodegas because that was like the closest thing, if that makes any sense here. Hot food all day long type of thing. Delicious. But now here's the dilemma. Do you plan on lowering the rents for these buildings? How do you do that? Let me guess, because they're business owners or because they are most likely living within like a different tax code, etc. You're looking to make like basically force them out, corner the market for the most part here. But guys, this just feels like you plan on running exclusively within like a deficit. This does not make any sense to me. I'm trying to make it make sense because, you know, I want it to make sense in my head here, right? So I can be like, okay, this is what this group of people plans on doing with the United States of America kind of within our future here. Okay, this makes sense, but it just, everything feels illogical and not well thought out here. Everything feels like a pipe dream. Like everything feels like you're saying exactly what you think people want to hear because it makes, I don't know, them feel better, right? Like that's all I'm hearing from this here, guy. I'm not getting anything beneficial at all from his speech, and I'm listening really hard here. But I do think that any sound, logical person is probably also looking at this like, this doesn't make any sense, bro. I have no idea how these people keep winning, bro. Other than the fact that they just keep telling people exactly what they want to hear, but never being able to actually deliver this, bro. Running in a deficit is crazy. A consistent deficit? You understand that the products that you're going to be buying for this government-funded grocery store that's most likely going to turn into a ghetto. Why do I say this here? Because you're also trying to get rid of bail. Like, why would you, guys, who's running this? Okay, like, do you just walk in and just pilfer things? Because you can't ask for an ID, right? That's racist. That's illegal, I think, in their head. I don't know, guys. This is all weird. Listen, guys, you guys have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly. If you guys are new here, please like and subscribe. And in the meantime, guys, I'll come and catch you guys later.